Hey, it's another story about energy and electricity and natural gas and... Alright, the spoiler is, it's not about the US this time. Now, we know about the US's problems. The current administration has made it extremely difficult to get petroleum products out of the ground, and electricity isn't doing well. But there are countries that have it worse. Let's head over to Deutschland. Yes, we're talking about Germany. This story starts way back in 2011. In 2011, Germany decided that it was going green. It bought into the woke agenda, and they were going to end all of their nuclear power plants. Shut them down. Which is painfully ironic because nuclear is one of the most efficient sources of electricity for carbon gases and greenhouse gases and polluting the earth. Okay? But nope, they're going to shut them down because they're on the green woke agenda. Well, what happens is they switched over entirely to solar and wind. And as you could expect with predictable results, solar and wind do not make enough electricity to power an industrialized country like Germany. So, every time they get a brownout or a blackout, they have to call up France and buy nuclear energy. Yes, and they pay a premium because France can charge whatever they want because Germany absolutely needs it. So, as you can see, predictable results. They took away all their power sources without having a replacement ready to go. You have to phase this in over time. I'm not saying that we can't eventually get to a 100% green energy source. It might be possible. Might be 10 years, might be 100 years. I don't know. But you have to have something in place before you switch over. Germany didn't. And when they got brownouts and blackouts, they had to buy nuclear power from France. That in itself is hilarious. But that is not where this story ends. Let's go back to February 8th, 2022. So we're jumping to current year. Which European countries are most dependent on Russian gas? Wait, I thought they went all green. Yes, but if they buy gas from somewhere else, it doesn't count. I think this is what they call a loophole. It's also called nonsense. But anyway, there's a little chart here. We'll pull it right up on screen. And the first couple of countries are North Macedonia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Moldova. 100% dependent on Russian gas. Now, it's never good to be 100% dependent on just one place. But these are kind of ex-Soviet bloc countries. They have common ancestors. It's not as much of a problem. And besides, those countries are very, very small. I mean, a couple of tanker trucks of coal would probably get them through the winter. I'm just kidding. They're not that small, but they're smaller. Then you get down into Finland and Latvia, 94 and 93%. Okay, that's serious. Bulgaria, 77%. Germany, 49%. Now, what's interesting about this, even though it's only 49%, Germany is the largest country on the list so far. Very industrialized, very heavy populations, a lot of infrastructure. They use an unbelievable amount of energy. They build things. They have infrastructure. They need energy. They're also highly technical. Everyone has internet, phones. They have a lot of electric cars, etc., etc. Okay, modern, very modern country. So 49% of all of their fuel comes from Russian gas. All of their energy comes from Russian gas. They need half of their stuff. Now, over the last couple of years, we have, I guess we kind of pissed off Russia. And by we, I mean NATO. We've put American bases, military bases, literally in a perimeter all around Russia. And what did you think they were going to do? Sit back and just go, oh, look, all the militaries are amassing on our border. We'll just do nothing? You remember back to the Bay of Pigs, the Cuban Missile Crisis? Okay, Russia tried to install a couple of missiles in Cuba. let's say one missile base in Cuba that was potentially in range to hit Florida and other parts of the Southern America. We almost went to war. We had a Cold War for decades because they tried to put a military base close to our border. But we've been doing the same thing to them for decades. How did you think they were going to react? And then, Biden calling him the worst person on earth and other adjectives that are similar for the last year and a half, 2 years. He's been isolated. Well, what happens when you push a rabid dog into a corner? They don't start playing fetch and offer a paw and wag their tail. He is a tough guy. Putin is a tough guy. He runs a huge country, millions of people. He's not dumb. What do you think was going to happen? All right, back to this European gas. Germany uses 49% of their gas from Russia. Okay, not a great plan. How is this possibly going to work out for them? Well, if Russia knows that you need gas, and they've got gas, not only can they withhold it, but they can tell you how they want to be paid. So Russia says, all right, you pay us in rubles now. Now, part of the reason why they made the switch to being paid only in Russian rubles is because of the sanctions that Biden put on Russia. For all intents and purposes, kicked them out of the world economy. So they're out of the SWIFT banking system, they're out of the European Union banking system, the Economic Forum, the whole thing, okay? So they're like, yeah, you guys can't use credit cards, you can't use Visa, you can't use MasterCard, you can't use US dollars, you can't pay in bonds, etc., etc. So Russia's like, okay, no problem. Everyone pays in rubles now. So Germany, being a part of NATO and being very proud, were like, 9, no rubles for you. And then they ran out of gas. So they did the same thing to Italy. In that chart I showed you, Italy uses a pretty good amount of Russian gas too. And Italy says, okay, fine, we'll pay in rubles for about a day. And they walked that back because the rest of the NATO probably said, you better fucking not do that. So anyway, Germany scrambles to ration gas after refusing to make payments in rubles. So if they don't pay in rubles, they lose 50% of their energy. Just like that. That's bad. Remember I said they were very industrial? Okay? They have to pay. They have to get the gas. They can't turn on their nuclear power plants and solve their problems because they want to be green. And solar and wind don't cut it. Okay? Germany is, it's not the northernmost country in Europe, obviously, but it's pretty far north. Countries on the equator get a lot of sunshine. The further you move away, the less sunshine you get. Okay, this is basic geography. So solar is not going to be as efficient there as it is in the plains of Africa. It's just not. No matter how good and efficient their solar panels are, they don't get as much sun as an equatorial nation. So they're never going to be able to produce enough with just solar. And wind, same thing. And they can't do okay, they're screwed. They have to. So here's a chart of the USD RUB. This is how much you can buy rubles in US dollars. The red line shows the sanctions that Biden put on Russia. And the ruble crashed. Nearly bankrupted the whole country. Well, Putin's not dumb. He may not be a nice guy and you might not like him, but you would be foolish to think he's stupid. So he says, okay, we need to save the ruble. We need to save the Russian people. We're going to sell our gas only in rubles. Hint, hint, that's where the green line starts. Brought it right back to the same level of before sanctions. So, again, don't have to like him. He is doing what he can for his country. I kind of wish we had someone in our country that would work for us, but I believe that's a different topic. All right, so right now, Germany is struggling. Now, I told you the date on that was what, March or something? Yeah, March 30th. So let's go forward a little bit faster. And where are we? In Thursday, June 23rd. Uh-oh. Germany elevates risk level to its, quote, national gas emergency plan. It's the second highest alarm phase. I think what you call this is sheer panic. I think they're freaking out. They know they're screwed. European natural gas and power prices surged after Germany triggered the alarm stage. Yeah, you guys are in trouble. They are trying to reduce their supplies from Russia. They can't. They can't. Well, they can. They can turn on all their nuclear power plants, turn them back on, reactivate them. They'd be good to go in 30 days. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to. And that's where we sit. Russia, at this point, holds all the cards. The sanctions that our country and NATO put on Russia has made them stronger than ever. It's almost like a Star Wars reference. If you cut me down, I'll come back stronger than you can imagine. Germany. At this point, take the knee. You're going to... Thousands of people are going to be out of work. It could be millions. It could be millions of people will be out of work in Germany if they don't have enough electricity to turn the lights on in their factories. They're industrial. They make cars. Audi, Volkswagen, Porsche, BMW. How many cars do they make? How many car companies are just out of Germany? They make a ton of stuff. They make a lot of high-tech industrial equipment. They make a lot of medical equipment. They make things. They produce stuff. Well, they're not going to be making a goddamn thing if they can't turn the lights on. Germany is in a bad spot. Now, I know the USA is bad, but I think they're worse. I'm going to make the case that Germany is worse. Now, in 2 years, when we get a new president, we'll be able to start doing oil and gas again. We'll be fine. It will be fine. It's not a problem. It's going to be a bump. It's going to be nasty, and some people are going to get sick, and some people are going to go hungry for a while. But we'll probably be fine. I don't think Germany can. I don't think their leadership is up for it. How long do you think it'll be before we start getting German immigrants at the southern border? I wouldn't be surprised.